Hello and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a little bit different. Today I wanted to talk about beauty standards in real life versus online and give my experience. It's going to be a get ready with me style video, so that's why I only have part of my makeup on. I will be doing the rest on camera. All products will be listed down below. I do want to focus more on what I'm talking about, and I really want to hear you guys' experiences with this. Beauty standards vary a lot depending on where you live, how old you are, how you were raised, the type of people you're around, what kind of work you do. It really varies a lot. It's obviously very, very subjective. I have found though big differences between real life and online, and I just wanted to talk about it and give you my experiences, and I really want to hear you guys' experiences. So please let us know in the comments, and yeah, let's just get into it. I am going to be using my new Natasha Denona palettes, and I'm going to start with this color here. I'm just putting this in the crease, and I'll just go ahead and start with my life experiences. So I was raised where the most important thing is education, and appearances were important to look nice and put together, but not the most important thing in the world. And I was not super into beauty, makeup, and things like that. I was very interested in it starting in middle school, and I had, some lip gloss, mascara, eyeliners, but that's about it. And in my real life, not many people I've been around have ever even really been super into beauty, fashion, and things like that. So it just wasn't emphasized a ton. And same with even through high school, my friends really didn't wear a whole lot of makeup. It wasn't something, people talked about. We were more just focused on other things and having fun. So it was never really a huge emphasis. I'm putting a darker matte brown in the outer corner. And I didn't feel overly judged, fortunately. There were definitely things as a kid I was made fun of for my parents, in middle school, high school. Nothing ever too crazy though. Fortunately, I do feel lucky for that. Putting the slightly darker matte brown from the same palette here. And also I will say I am 35 years old, so I didn't grow up with any of this stuff. Facebook was invented when I was in college, so before that there really was not social media or any of those things, which honestly I feel fortunate about that, to not have experienced that as a child or a teenager, because as I'll get into, I do think that that is very, very stressful. So in college, I started to get a little bit into makeup and fashion, but again, people I was friends with were not super into it. Some people were, but it wasn't anything major. It wasn't something really we talked about a whole lot. So yeah, I didn't feel a whole lot of pressure. I wasn't super into fashion. I definitely wasn't dressing super nice through all of these years. And then fast forward to when I was 23, and that was when I discovered the YouTube beauty community, and I started watching makeup and fashion videos. And that really sparked my love for makeup because I finally was able to learn how to use it and the products to use. Whereas before that, it was something I was interested in, but as I mentioned, nobody I knew was really into it. It wasn't something I could ask people about. So yeah, that was totally life-changing. And I basically went overnight from being someone who just occasionally wears mascara and lip gloss to a full face makeup. And most people were actually very nice and positive response. They were like, wow, I see you're getting into makeup. Super cool. I've always been interested in that too. But I will say there were a few comments that I started to get where people were like, oh, why are you all of a sudden so dressed up? Why are you wearing so much makeup? And I tried to not let it get to me because like I said, most people were very nice about it. But I will say that the people I did get the judgmental comments from were sadly other women. And, I don't know, who knows? This was at the time I was 23. I don't know, maybe I was insecure, maybe other people had insecurities. I don't know, but most people did have a positive response. Now, fast forward to my life now where people know me that I'm either going to have a full face of makeup or absolutely no makeup, sweatpants, and nobody really cares. I gotta say, the people that know me don't really care. I do work in an office type job, so I don't wear super colorful makeup to work, as I'm sure a lot of us who have those type of jobs. Whereas if you have a job where you're like, it's more artistic, you can express yourself more. I wish I had that, honestly. It would be a whole lot of fun, and I don't even know that I would get judged, but I don't even want to have the option, so I stick to more neutral looks for that, as I'm sure a lot of other people do in that same situation. I'm gonna go with this green shade here. I'm very excited about the greens in this palette, by the way, but I do wish there was a matte green. I do feel like that is lacking, and there is a shade in the other palette. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, but I digress. I'm not even wetting my brush for this. Yeah, this is a really pretty color. So basically, let me sum up real life. I feel not a whole lot of pressure, but I do feel like there's a lot of pressure to look nice and put together, but not too glamorous, not too fancy. And I feel like the little flaws that I see, you know, I have lines on my forehead, hyperpigmentation, things like that. Nobody in real life notices that stuff, at least not the people I'm around. Nobody says anything. It's really, it's not a thing. So I feel, you know, some pressure in certain ways. And I will say, not being around a lot of people who do wear makeup or are into fashion a lot or anything like that, I sometimes do feel like I don't want to be too glam because I may get judged for that. That may be in my head, or that may be left over from when I first started getting into beauty and things like that. And I did receive some judgment for it. Not sure. Like I said, it could be all in my head. I don't know. But I do, you know, in certain situations, try to tone it down, just because I know that not a lot of other people are going to be wearing a lot of makeup or dressed up or whatever it may be. So that's kind of summary of my real life experience. Now let's talk about online. I have had an Instagram for 4 years, and I've had my YouTube channel for almost 3 years. And at first, when I started my Instagram, I was so nervous to even post a picture of myself because of the fear of judgment, because I knew, you know, online people can be brutal, and I mostly just posted flat lays. And then eventually I did post some pictures of my makeup, and people were very nice. And at the time, though, I was mostly following Project Panners, which I still am. And obviously I didn't have much of a huge following, so I didn't really get any negative comments, which was nice. Now, fast forward to sometime last year. Whoops, I shook the camera. Sometime last year, I decided, you know what, I want to post some Instagram tutorials. That's something I've seen people do. It looks like a whole lot of fun. And so I did. And I will say most people, and all the people that I follow, were very, very nice and said nice things. But I started to get some really mean comments. Only a few of them, I will say, and in the grand percentage of comments, most of them were positive, but there were a few that were so horrible and mean. Said basically, you look disgusting, is this a joke, this makeup is horrible. And it got to me. I'm embarrassed to say that, but it did. And I stopped posting Instagram tutorials because of that. Even though I'm sure those people were just trolls, they weren't really people that even followed me. They were just probably stumbled upon it randomly and whatever. So anyway, I did let it get to me, which is sad, and honestly, I should not have. I did the world's tiniest wing, but it's fine, whatever. Okay, so let me fast forward to more recently. I feel like my YouTube channel, it's pretty small, so I feel fortunate. I don't really get a lot of mean and hypercritical comments, I will say. But the last few months, I have noticed that I'm getting a lot of comments, in particular talking about my poor makeup application, we'll just say. I'm gonna go with this teal type shade though for the lower lash line. This is from the Purple Blue palette. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of comments kind of saying that, you know, my eyeshadow's not blended enough, or that my forehead makeup looks splotchy. The forehead thing, I mentioned this in another video. I have hyperpigmentation on my forehead and I have wrinkles. So sometimes it looks like my makeup looks splotchy on my forehead, and there's just nothing that I can do about it. It's my skin discoloration showing through. And when you have lines, makeup settles into it, even with the best primers. And I think that's just kind of what I've noticed about online. I'm using the Cover FX blush in Pink Dahlia. There's this need for, or expected, perfection. And I think that's what's very interesting / sad, honestly, that People expect the people they see online to look perfect. If they don't look perfect, they're going to let them know. In return, I think some, not all creators, probably feel some insecurity related to that. Maybe the person is commenting on something they're already very insecure about, and maybe it's really getting to them. Or maybe it wasn't something that they were worried about, like myself. In my real life, I'm not worried about my forehead wrinkles and my hyperpigmentation and my imperfect makeup. I don't care. Other people I'm around don't seem to care. But people feel the need to say it. I'm not sure why that is. And I think a lot of these people, I don't think they're being mean. I think they're just saying, oh, you know, you could look better if you did this, or da 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 da. But I'm not trying to look perfect. I'm just trying to have fun. And I guess this need for perfection, I think what happens, so then people expect the creators to be perfect. And then those creators are trying and trying and trying to look perfect to avoid negative comments, which leads them to maybe even going as far as getting procedures done or injections or whatever it may be. And I know that there are YouTubers that have said that they've done those things partly in response to comments they've gotten. Now, if you want to do those things for yourself, absolutely do it. I am not judging at all. But it's kind of sad that some people are being driven to such extremes because of judgment they faced online. Now, so then you get the creators trying to be perfect because that's what's expected of them. And in turn, the people watching, the viewers, people following them on Instagram, see that, and now they're expecting themselves to be perfect. That's where I think this turns into a vicious cycle of trying to achieve that flawless face, that perfect complexion, that perfect look, the perfect body. And this has led to the use of filters online, just pictures in general. They're unrealistic. A lot of people have done videos kind of on the whole body image thing online, and how so many pictures you see of people's bodies are either filtered or they're posing their body in a certain way to look skinnier. And those of us viewing those images are now expecting that of ourselves, and we don't really understand why we can't look like that. Well, they don't really look like that either. It's filters, it's whatever, and so many pictures I see of makeup on Instagram, not hating people that use filters, but a lot of them are heavily, heavily edited. And I've looked at some of them like, wow, I wish my eyeshadow looked like that. And I'm like, wait, I think this is a highly edited video or picture. And even if you know that, because a lot of these people will say that they've edited their photo, but it still makes you want to look like that. It's so messed up to think about that we know what we're viewing is not real. We know this is an edited photo, and we still want to look like that. That's sad. It really, really is. And I think this constant trying to look perfect, trying to be perfect, I think it's harmful. And now, like I said, I didn't grow up with the whole social media thing, but for younger people who are growing up with that, it makes me wonder and makes me sad. Are they like that in their real life? Because in my real life, I don't feel that, as I mentioned. There are other pressures, of course, as I mentioned, from society and whatnot, but my tiny little sunspots, nobody notices that, nobody cares. So I don't know. I find it really, really sad, the vicious cycle that has happened. And don't get me started on filters in YouTube videos. That's something I really don't agree with. I think people that want to post pictures of makeup online, use filters, edit, that's fine. But there are some big YouTubers, maybe small ones too, I don't know, that use filters in their videos. And I find that's something I strongly disagree with, because if you're reviewing products and then you're putting them on your face, but that is a filtered video, whoa, that's just, I feel like that's wrong on so many different levels. So I don't know. I just think a lot of this, yes, also, a lot of people tell me I wear too much blush. I like it. I don't understand why we all have to like the same things, do the same things. I don't know. I'm going on a bit of a rant here, but I don't know. I just think it's kind of sad, this pressure that people feel the need to all look a certain way. all do the same type of things. It's sad. I have really no other words at this point. I'm using the Artist Couture highlighter in Gold Digger, which is this loose highlighter, which I admit is a little difficult to use. I do like the color though. Wow, that's a lot of highlight there. All right, so back to what I was saying. So there's this constant need for perfection. Creators, Instagrammers, whoever, influencers are trying to achieve that perfection. And that may lead them, like I said, to maybe get work done they otherwise would not have done, or use filters in their videos or photos. The same people that are criticizing or would criticize them for not looking a certain way now are criticizing them for doing those things. And that just is crazy to me. It makes the whole thing seem like a crazy, vicious cycle, I said, I'm just going to use the Charlotte Tilbury as like a finishing powder because I have nothing else over here to try to blend this all out. Cover FX blushes are very, very pigmented. Alrighty, I finished my makeup and I gotta say I want to try to fix this highlighter when I'm not filming. But anyway, I really like my lip combo. The NYX lip liner in Alluring, which is a pink type shade. Really like this. I did get this recently because I just felt like I didn't have enough variety in my lip liners. But Kylie lipstick in Bare and Moonchild gloss by ColourPop. So really like this combo actually. Let me try to summarize my thoughts here a little bit. So basically I feel like at least my real life experience has been to look nice and put together, but not too fancy. Otherwise you could potentially get judgment for that. But I just feel like the little things in real life, a few wrinkles, some discoloration, and I feel bad even commenting on my discoloration, honestly, because it's very, very mild. Some people have really significant discoloration and hyperpigmentation, so I feel ridiculous even commenting on that, to be serious, but people just don't notice that stuff in real life. They really don't, especially if it's minor. It's really usually not as noticeable as we think that it is. Whereas online, the problem is especially now with the high quality cameras and all of that, every little thing is noticeable. And I think the fact that people feel the need to comment on it in turn can make YouTubers, influencers, Instagrammers, whoever, hyper vigilant about trying to achieve perfection. And that in turn makes the viewer, the follower, whoever who's seeing those images try to achieve that as well. And it's just unrealistic. And honestly, it takes the whole fun out of it, which is really sad. I like makeup because it's fun. And for me, it's a self-expression. I am not trying to disguise myself or be someone that I'm not. I go out without makeup all the time and I have no problem with that. To me, it's fun and artistic. And I think if I try a new makeup look and yeah, it doesn't turn out perfect, but I'm still having fun, I'm just trying to enjoy myself, but then people need to feel the need to talk about the flaws of that, it's just kind of sad because it makes me not want to experiment anymore, which I really, I'm still going to do what I want. I guess I just wanted to do this video to let people know you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to try to be perfect. You can just have fun, live your life. But honestly, that's easier said than done because of the pressures out there, particularly on social media and even other influencers. They're influencing other influencers. One person will see someone else who looks, flawless, perfect. They're trying to achieve that themselves. And like I said, it's a vicious cycle, kind of sad. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to have fun. And I hope other people will do the same. Please let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate it and have a great day.